Now, these are something of a myth in the history of torture instruments. A lot of people believe that they simply didn't exist. And the famed example known as the Iron Virgin of Nuremberg, which is currently on display in the Rotenburg Ob der Tower Crime Museum, is in fact a Victorian, not a copy, a Victorian creation designed to entice people to come to see the old torture museums that they used to have in Nuremberg, just like this one. I started collecting torture devices at Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum in St. Augustine, Florida. And Robert Ripley used to travel around the world collecting really weird and some very dark pieces. And I remember in this museum, he had an Iron Maiden. When you first walked in the front door, right there in the lobby was this. There was a lot of minstrels or musicians that went to small towns, and they would play their instruments for money. Today we call that busking. And if you went to a small town and you sucked playing your instrument, they could lock you in this as a punishment. And what it is, this goes around your neck like this. Enemies forced to face each other, and actually they were locked to each other. So they figured, well, they're gonna work out their differences. They're gonna discuss it and, come stupid. It's designed to make you look when you walk through the town like you were a fool, and people would never let you and hit exactly right in the middle. And there's many, many stories of people being beheaded with these sorts of axes where the executioner would miss, hit halfway. Some cases they'd even have to chase the person around the scaffold to hack at them with the axe. It's terrible. But just as back then, a lot of these things like tortures and executions, they were meant to be public spectacles. Because you lived in smaller villages, you couldn't have crime running rampant in the streets. You couldn't have people doing things to one another. You had to have justice as a solid iron fist, something people could see and also be afraid of. Prague in the Czech Republic killed many, many people. I wanted this built for the collection in the hopes that one day when I get a museum, this will be put on display as something that reminds people of the tyranny of oppression, the tyranny of governments that do terrible things to their citizens. I consider this a memorial. I've probably got. It shows different sides of humanity, and I want that kind of museum. I think people could learn a lot from it.
Humankind has not yet learned how to save people from hunger, disease, war, or social injustice, but has very much succeeded in developing macabre ways of killing and sophisticated means of torturing their fellow human beings. The crown of creation.